Hi.
All right.
Thank you. I made some cookies for you. You want some?
I'll take
The
one.
peanut butter ones. You want something to drink?
No, thank you.
Hi.
Hi, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Okay. Hi, puppy girl. I know you're sad. I know you're having a really hard time. And the biggest kindness I'm going to do you is be completely frank with you. It's nice to be free from your constant judgment, from your constant dressing me down. From my perspective, your personal needs are too high. Your worldview is based on some holier than thou thing. You don't like compromise. You don't like when I don't meet your standards. And rather than wondering whether your standards are messed up, I catch hell for it. I'm not interested in that anymore. That's a whole side issue. That's the side issue. That's never gone away. And I don't know that you can do anything about it because you're wired the way you're wired to expect the things you expect from people. Your expectations have to get radically altered. You have to learn to accept people as they are, me. You have to learn to accept people in balance. And you have to stop your sitting in judgment. I don't know that you can ever do that. You have to learn how to do that.
And if I could?
Then maybe we can get back together. But I don't know that you can. And the other thing is you have to learn how to forgive. When you get mad at me, it's plainly clear that you've forgiven nothing, including all the imagined ways you think I've hurt other women. That's a huge problem. I don't think you can ever fix that. Your temper has to be controlled. Period. End of story. Giving some thought to this, I now understand why women stay in relationships with men that hit them. The good is good, and the bad is awful.
You're
but
saying
the good
I
is good.
abused you?
I'm saying that your emotional outbursts and your henpecking is the same as an abusive husband, and your emotional outbursts are the same as punching me in the face. You can't control yourself. You won't control.
I can, and I
No,
have.
stop.
I can. I have before.
I don't believe you can. No, I'm not. We're not going to touch.
Why?
Because I don't want to touch you right now.
Please.
What for?
Because we're talking. I want you to see that I mean it.
Whether you mean it or whether you can do anything about it are two
I
wholly
am.
separate things.
I keep trying to tell you.
You keep trying to tell me that you've made up your mind to change. Awesome.
I'm working.
Change is going to take months.
That's probably true,
Mm-hmm.
but I feel like you're not open to even talking to me or anything. You're just completely shut down.
Yeah, I don't believe you can change. And my honest assessment is you can't and you won't. Maybe you want to right now because you're sad, because you're facing a horrific loss.
Are you losing anything?
Not nearly as much as you are.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? I thought I was the love of your life.
You were in points. I believed in time, commitment to you, and decent treatment of you would make your problems disappear. They haven't. They're just a core of you. No matter how many times I've told you, stop it. You don't listen. Because you don't want to listen and you can't listen.
Are you
You have
taking any
something
responsibility though for
no,
your anger parts?
I'm not.
You do though.
I'm not
Marc.
taking. This is the
Why?
problem. You
What
won't-
we both do is what I'm saying.
This
It's not
is-
just me. You
I'm
can't
going to
just
explain the
blame
problem
me.
again to you. I'm going to explain the problem.
I've heard you say it. You've been putting me down for 9 days
Right.
straight.
You refuse to sit and think about you. Your reaction is, you too. It ain't fucking me
No,
too, lady. You get treated like a fucking queen, and you treat me like shit. You get away from me. It's about you. You understand this? It is about you. Because you treat me like shit, and I've taken it for 6 years.
I don't.
You have, and I have, and I'm not taking it anymore.
I don't, Mark.
And you don't fucking listen to me. This has nothing to do with me.
I don't treat you like shit.
You do treat me like shit.
Don't.
Get it into your head,
There's
and
been
then there's a
times
move
that
forward.
I have. There's been times that I have. But overall, I have not. This traveling has been horrific for us. We never fought like this before.
I know. We fought before.
We fought before, but not like this. And it was a lot of space in between.
Here's your fucking problem. Listen to me. Don't fight it. Don't argue it. Don't defend it. Stop and listen. Shut your flippin' mouth and listen.
Please, babe.
Shut up and listen, or I'm going to leave. I'm not going to listen to you beg and whine and cry and carry on and do anything that's unproductive. If you want productivity, you need to shut your mouth and listen, because you can't listen with your open mouth, because all you'll do is process for a counterattack, and that's stupid, and I'm not having it anymore.
I'm not trying.
That's all you've ever done. Close your mouth and stop talking.
Oh my God. Lord, please.
Stop begging, stop talking, prepare to listen. When you're prepared to listen, I will start to talk. Listening involves a shut mouth. So give me a few minutes of shut. You're still talking. The problem in the relationship is not your imagined put-downs, your imagined down-dressings. I'm going to talk about those for a minute. They require no comment from you. Listen and process. I get frustrated because you can't learn things, whether you have a disability and can't learn, or whether you're too stubborn to learn. I believe you're too stubborn to learn. So when I try to tell you something, the first time I'm nice about it. The second time I'm nice about it. The third and fourth time, I get very disappointed that you're not catching on yet. That you're clueless to catching on, and that your response is not, I just don't get it. What else should I do? Your response is, how dare you talk to me this way, or how dare you talk down to me? You have no concept at all of the ability to learn something new. Being asked to learn something new is being told you're fucking stupid in your head. I don't know how that gets fixed. I don't know how it gets fixed. That's a huge fucking problem for you. It's not for me. And in return, when I tell you something you don't want to do, or I try to show you how to do something properly, I'm talking down to you. Because it's the fifth time I've showed you, and I'm a little peeved on a small level that you haven't caught on yet, or you haven't recognized you haven't caught on yet, or you have no clue that you've been told this before, or that you're doing something wrong and how to do it right. You just attack me for having the gall, the absolute gall to tell you you don't know what you're doing, do it this way. That's a problem for you. It's not a problem for me. So all this condescension is my frustration boiling over to you with your inability to learn. The example you like to give is in front of Lauren. We've had it up to here with conversations about fucking stupid, worthless Google and the nice new system I bought. What do you say? You've not learned the difference. You come to me and say, my phone says something different. It's imbecilic. It's childish, and it's proof that you haven't learned. We've talked about what your phone says. We've argued about it. We've had screaming fights. That it's not clear to you. That I don't give two shits about what your phone fucking says. That I have to come over and tell you once again why we're going to use this map. And you tell me it's a different route. I said, let's compare apples to oranges. You're completely clueless how to look at your phone and how to look at an orange. I have to tell you like a child. You have to manipulate your phone so the map is in the same direction. I'm out of my patience with you before that conversation even starts. It should never have started. It should have been crystal clear in your mind. Follow the RV. Mark has the mapping system. Or get out of your fucking Jeep and walk up to Mark and say, hey, what direction is this going to take? That you look at me with your fucking phone and say Google says something different? It's as if all the fights we've had about Google never existed. That is inconceivable to me. It paints a terrible picture of you, and you're clueless to it. That's a problem. And in response to that from me, from the recognition that no matter how much we fought about this, you want to raise Google again to me. And I try to keep my temper, and I get a little sarcastic to you. that wasn't talking down to you, that was being far more kind than you had coming. Right? Then we talk about you and your temper, that whenever you fucking feel like it, you unload on me. Sometimes it's just a lecture. When I tell you, stop, that's enough. Stop. It goes in one ear and out the other because you're justified in getting everything off your chest as if I'm just a fucking punching bag for the next half hour. You're clueless. Your ability to read my mood and to read my face is gone. All you care about is what's on your mind. And what's on your mind should be given in about 30 fucking seconds. Not 30 minutes. And when I don't want to listen, you get madder. That's a huge fucking problem. That's a you problem, not a me problem. And finally, it's your inability to fucking hold your temper in check. That's not a me problem. That's a you problem. These problems you have to work on. You have to fix. Now, when I look back at you and I look back at our marriage, my faith and my trust that you will fix them is a low single-digit number.
Do you want to fix it?
I don't believe you can.
Do you want to fix? Do you want our marriage to be fixed?
Do I want you to fix yourself? I think you should.
I mean for our marriage. I'm not talking about for me, because I'm working on myself and I will continue to do so. But do you want this marriage to survive or not?
In its current form, not at all. No, zero. I have no interest.
Okay. In any form.
Did you hear what I said?
In the current form. You said in the current form.
Then why are you questioning me? Listen to me. I talk clearly. I give very specific answers. I think about what I say. Why are you questioning it? I said in this form. That means in this form. It does not mean anything other than in this form. Why do you struggle with that sentence?
Because I'm asking in the future if things are better. Are you willing to?
If you can rehab your personality and become like a regular girl, yeah, I'm willing to listen. You grew up in a church that had these fucking kooky ideas. You grew up with parenting that had some weird ideas. You have things in your head based on the way you were raised that I don't think can be fixed. If you can fix them, I'll talk to you again. Well, then maybe there's a marriage, but I don't believe you can. I honestly don't believe you can. I believe you think in the back of your head, well, sometimes I get a little bit mad, but he treats me like shit. He's got to work on him too. Wrong way to think about it. Completely wrong. Completely wrong. And if that's how you think about it going forward, zero chance
that you have any part to play. Not for me and my outbursts, but for your own actions. Do you have any part to play in your actions?
If you were a reasonable human being, I think my ability to remain kind to you would have gone on indefinitely. I don't know any human who can remain kind to somebody going over the same problem for the fourth time. We're not going to hold hands. We're not going to hug. We're not going to touch. No.
Why?
Because it's not the Cheryl show anymore. It's the Cheryl and Marc show. And if Marc doesn't agree, you don't get what you want. The mistake I made was not throwing you out of my fucking truck on the way back from Dead Man Hike, and you had the gall to dress me down about a joke I played on a fucking friend of mine. And you sat in that car high and mighty and said, how fucking dare you stuff something in someone's backpack and say, ooh, that's a tight fit. I should have brought you home and thrown you the fuck out of my life to get it into your fucking head. Your viewpoint don't carry the day, and you don't have any fucking.
Are you talking about Laura?
Yeah,
oh,
and you don't have the fucking. And you don't have the fucking right to dress me down over things.
It was inappropriate.
Yeah, I should have thrown you out of my truck that day.
You should have.
I should have.
It would have saved us a lot more heartache. If you didn't think that some of the things you've done are wrong,
right?
You've got a lot more soul searching to do.
And if you think you're going to meet a perfect man,
there's no perfect man. There's no perfect man. There's no perfect woman. You think you're going to meet a perfect woman?
No, but I'll meet a woman who has tolerance for others.
Maybe.
You don't have any.
Maybe.
You have no tolerance for me. And you've made this trip shitty at times, and you've made our marriage a problem at times. And right now, you're an out-of-control problem. And I'm finally in a place where I have peace and quiet, and I don't have to answer to your judgments. I don't have to answer to your moods. Moods that don't last 5 seconds. Moods that go on for hours. I don't know how you fix that. I don't know how you learn to turn yourself off. How long did it take me to explain your major faults?
You've explained them
100
times in the last 9 days.
How long today? It's a question. Please
20
answer.
20 minutes.
All right. 20 minutes would be your warm-up. on talking to me about how I
But
didn't
you've
offer.
repeated
Stop for a
Oh my
second.
God. You've repeated the same thing.
You never listened to me.
I have, and I've told you. You keep repeating the same thing to me. I've told you for my over-the-top anger the last couple times.
How long did the whole process take? Just now.
But you've done it 20 times in the last 9
great.
days.
20 minutes.
How many times are you
20
going to keep
minutes.
beating
How long
me
does
up?
it take you to beat me up for not coddling you like a 5-year-old with a skin knee when you fall? 45 minutes, and then all the way back home. One little thing. It was in your craw to fucking beat me up. The shit you said to me in the trail, fuck you and the horse you rode in on. The way you carried your temper in the truck, who the fuck do you think you are? Because I didn't fucking coddle you like you're a little baby who fell off her bike? That's what I lived through. Your temper tantrums that last for hours and are full of horrible, shitty, mean things to say. All I said in 20 minutes is, shut the fuck up so I can talk to you and I know you're listening. And I told you all of your severe problems in less than 20 minutes, and we're done. I'm done with it. In your head, it's right to tell me until you run out of gas. One little minor problem. See the difference?
It's not right.
See the
It's
difference?
not right. It's not right.
Of course it's not right.
I'm saying it. I'm saying it.
I know it's not right. It's about time you said it. Will you do anything about it?
Yes.
Will you control it? I doubt it. Because you've had one conversation with Kenneth? Nope. Because you feel bad about what you're losing? Nope. Your whole mindset and viewpoint on life has to be shifted. The concept of cutting somebody some slack for not giving you what you want doesn't exist in your head and your heart.
It does.
It doesn't.
It
You have to
does.
put it in there.
It does, Mark.
You have to put it in there.
I'm actually a very compassionate person
You're
and
not.
loving. I am.
You might be compassionate to sick people. You're not compassionate to me.
I was compassionate to you. I've lost that. I have, and I have to work on getting that back again.
Yeah,
I was
think
to
you've
you.
lost it. But you've snapped at me and decided you're the moral superior product to me and to dress me down for something since we were dating. That's never left you. It's a core part of who you are. It's your place to dress me down when I don't meet your standard.
The things that happened when we were dating were very different.
Since
very different.
we
You
were
were
dating,
not.
this
Those
behavior
were
of
different.
yours,
It was very
this
different.
behaviors of yours has latched on to different things, but the behavior exists and has existed since we were dating.
I'm not allowed to ever have something hurt me.
Of course you are.
Okay, so
Of
then
course you
why?
are. So what do you do about it? What does a normal person do about it? A normal person says, hey, that hurt my feelings. What did I do? And you tell me. And it takes about 30 fucking seconds. Stop defending yourself and listen. It takes about 30 fucking seconds to explain yourself. And then you wait and see. Does that person know he hurt my feeling? I guess now he does. Does that person want to make any amends? Yes or no? That whole process should take a minute or two. That's it. And be done with it. And if you get an apology, you accept it and you move on.
Well, what if you don't?
If you don't get the apology, it's because the way you dressed me the fuck down to get it. That's why. Because you behave like a fucking child. Rather than saying, oh, thanks for getting me up and dust me off. It hurt my feelings that you didn't care more for me when I fell. And I would tell you, well, I didn't know you had feelings like that.
You know I do.
I don't know that they're justified.
Maybe
I don't know.
not.
I don't know that you should act like a 5-year-old who fell off their bike. But if that's the way you felt, I'm sorry. I will probably continue to look at you like, pick yourself up off the ground. Let's get going. You're a person. People dust themselves off. People don't get their feelings hurt because they fell. People fall. Get the fuck up. It's not my problem you fell.
I know it wasn't. It was how you reacted.
What should I do? Coddle you like you're 5? No. Get it out of your
On the
head.
ground.
Get it out of your
You
head.
still don't think that's wrong?
No, I don't.
Do you think that anything that we covered in therapy, where you admitted to Kenneth, because I talked to him some more yesterday, and we talked about
So this
a
is
lot of
this
things.
is the
No,
problem we're
I have a
having.
question.
This is the problem we're having.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
When
What is
we
your
were
question?
in therapy,
Yeah.
and you admitted different times, different things, and you were
Mhm.
gonna work on, and I was gonna work on, because he definitely backed me up, that I said many times that my issue is how I respond to you.
Mhm.
That is my issue.
Mhm.
And so do you take any of that? Do you take that all back? The stuff that you admitted to him that you were wrong about? Do you take it all back?
I can't recall everything I admitted. I'm
You were very honest
yeah
there, and you were very
and-
open.
and some of your needs I can meet. Some of your needs I'm never going to meet. The fact that you behave like a little girl, it's not in me to meet that. I mean, You should be grown up. You should never have looked to me for anything other than a hand up off the ground, dusting off your clothes, take care of your wounds, and share a laugh with you. You should never have had the needs you had. They should not exist in a functioning 50-year-old person. They shouldn't. Your anger and your humiliation over your falling got focused onto me for nothing. I didn't trip you. I wasn't even there when you fell. I helped you off the ground and I dusted you off. Are you okay? That's all it should have been. That's all it should have been. That's how adults deal with their little traumas.
You do get annoyed when I get hurt or when I fall. You do. You've gotten annoyed with me before. When I can't accomplish something, you do. It's all over your face. It's in your demeanor. I mean, I know you. I know when something annoys you and you get very annoyed, like I do it on purpose. So a situation.
So then
like
react
that,
like, hey, I didn't do this on purpose, ass. That's
well,
a normal
I do.
human reaction.
I do.
No,
and then you get more and more mad.
You dress me down for not being a proper and decent husband. Not the same thing.
Did I?
Not on the same planet.
I mean, besides the last few fights that have been out of control, did I make you feel loved like a man? Did I make you feel like you were a good man and husband to me? No?
No. I was one more mistake away from another one of your dressing down and outbursts.
I don't mean during our travels. I mean before that.
I mean, it's always been in the back of my head. How many times have I said to you, oh, fuck, here we go again. Here goes the next 2 fucking hours of my life. How many times have you heard that from me? That's the answer to your question. That when it starts again, my reaction is, fuck, here we go again.
Did I make you feel, besides those times, did I make you feel loved?
At times, yeah, you did. You're capable of that. But you're also capable of being an unreasonable fucking bitch. I stayed with you, and I married you, and I put through all this because I thought, if I love you enough, you'll get secure in yourself, and all this nonsensical nagging, all these unrealistic expectations will disappear. They haven't. Because it won't disappear, because it's you and how you see the world. I don't know what you told Kenneth.
Let me tell you what I told Kenneth. No, can I talk, please?
Go ahead.
So the majority of the conversation was about me, and usually when it's about the person, they have you go back and talk about my prior marriage, what was the issue there and all that, and then who in my life that I felt was more as your personality that I dealt with. And I said my mom. I had a mother who had 3 other children that she basically didn't ever want to see again. I was always on eggshells my whole life. When she loved me hard, and when she didn't, she hated me. And it's really hard to grow up like that. I talked about my dad, how my mother was the alpha, and he was definitely the beta. We talked about Dale, how he's definitely was a beta male. And that you were alpha for sure. He said only 5% of men are true alphas. I'm like, well, Mark is a true alpha. So again, he's very fair when he talks. He says, you gotta remember, when you're dealing with an alpha male, if you were in a marriage for 25 years where you had to take care of shit because he couldn't, because of his mental illness, you became more alpha because you had to survive, to take care of your family. And then he went to tell me some personal stuff when him and his wife were separated for a while they were in Hamsu, and he dated a few women and a few nurses. He said, I went through only dating nurses for a little while. He said, and I'll tell you what about nurses. They are extremely nurturing and loving. And they're very highly sexual, because he asked about our sex life. But they have this 10% of them that is very alpha, and they can get crazy. So we talked about all that, and I started a journal about, he wants me to write about that maybe I'm still carrying stuff from my 25-year marriage, and that I haven't trusted you enough, and then for my mom too. So it was mainly that we talked about. It was mainly about me and my past And what, because we all have things that kind of bring us to our personality. And when I tell you I wasn't like this before, it's the truth. But I had to, you know my story. You know my story of how I had to take care of my family. And what it does to a woman, I became the man. And so I had a lot of that I could handle my own shit personality that I never had before, because I was always wanted to make my mother happy. And if I did anything wrong, I knew she would take her love from me. And that's how I feel now. I feel like I failed, and the one person that I didn't want to take his love away has done it. And that's what we talked about. I'm sorry to cry again. I don't want you to feel sorry for me. I just want you to know what is going on.
What you're going to require help on is discussing your views of other people's behavior and your expectations.
I agree.
He can drill down to how they were formed, but what you think, and then how you react when you don't get your way.
I feel like, honestly, a lot of it is to do with when I was really stronger in my faith. It's just kind of pounded into your head that it's others before yourself. And I always gave everybody the benefit of the doubt. And then when you get shit on a few times and your marriage is shit, you just forget that and you go into self-preservation mode. And I've forgotten and haven't focused on others' needs before me.
In service before self.
I mean taking into the concept that you're saying is kind of forgiving other people.
No, that's not the concept. The concept is not, I have to learn to put my husband first. The concept is my personal expectations of someone else's behavior are far too fucking high, and they're based on God knows what. And within that framework, I have no tolerance for something that's not within my expectation. That has nothing to do with service to others.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying. I used to give
your world. I don't care. I don't care that you could learn to say, forget my perspective, Mark first. I'm not interested in.
I don't mean just you first. I mean
stop
everyone.
For a second.
I don't mean just
I'm not
you.
interested in that perspective. I'm not interested in you going to church and being able to say, I sit here on my high throne in judgment. However,
no.
Can I get a thought through before you argue with it? Stop arguing with me. Stop listening to half of what I say, getting defensiveness and preparing a counter argument. Listen to everything I have to say. It's only a few short sentences. I don't ramble. So, to start again, I'm not interested in your ability to say, well, God says I should serve others. Even though this person is A, B, C, D, E, I'll serve them. I'm not interested in that. What I'm interested in is your reevaluating your standards, reevaluating your expectations, and getting them in line with a humanist's value that people can fail me, people can do different things. I shouldn't expect this from people. It's self-righteousness that causes me to expect this. This is a normal expectation. And if those expectations are met, I can be happy. If you can come up with that, 80% of your problems are solved. You're not going to get off your horse. You're not going to realize the world has a different view on things, that you can cut lots of people slack. And you need to look at people from a different light. And you need to realize that people do regular things, and regular things are just fine. They don't have to be worship Cheryl things at all time. That's what needs to change. There's a difference. It's perspective of the situation, not a willingness to put someone first in a situation. Two different things.
I hear you, and that's what I was trying to get across, is that I used to have more compassion and understanding for everybody had different views or what was going on. I didn't judge people like I did before, honestly. And a lot of people do judge in church, but I didn't. Because it's pounded into you not to. You're not supposed to. And anyhow.
It would be super helpful if you and Kenneth could somehow shift the way you look at people and shift the way you look at your husband.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I adore you.
And if you have a problem with something I do,
I adore you.
then you get it over in a second.
And I think you're a very strong, capable, honest man. I think you're a wonderful man.
You have to learn how to accept wonderful. That perfect doesn't exist.
I know. And you for me. And I will work on all of that, but I still won't be perfect.
I never asked to be perfect. I asked to be normal.
I don't know if
And
I
when
could be totally normal in your eyes, because your eyes are normal. I don't know what that means. You keep saying be normal. It's like, I love you so much.
Not enough.
I do.
Not enough to exercise self-control.
I will.
Well, you have to learn how. I don't know that you can.
I will.
And you're pleading from a place of pain and a place of loss, and I get it. I get it. I've been there. I felt horrible over losses. I get it.
Not over me.
This
but
is
I'm
taking.
Your wife.
Yeah, you know why? And we've talked about this. You've been beating me down for a couple of years, and I've told you a number of times. Every time you lose your shit at me, every time you dress me down, it takes a little piece of my love from you. And you have removed, piece by piece, all of my love for you.
Then you'll be fine.
Can you ever get it back? I don't know.
I don't know either. I don't think I
don't
can.
know either.
I don't think no matter
I don't
what
know either.
your mind is made
But
up.
you didn't love me enough to check yourself, ever, at any point.
I have.
You have not.
I absolutely
You
have.
not.
There have been a lot of times where I've kept my mouth
That's
shut
terrible.
when you're barking at me.
It's terrible.
Oh, babe.
Why am I barking at you? Let's go back to the first instance of the barking. The first instance is, Cheryl, can you do this for me? And you, whatever's in your head isn't nearly enough to get it done, and whatever's in your head doesn't tell you that, I don't know what I'm doing, maybe I should ask for more direction. So I tell you what to do, and you ignore it. I use plain English. You ignore it. So I bark after a while. Of course I do. Hey, Cheryl, how do we communicate on a walkie-talkie? It's not a mystery. I explained how to communicate on a walkie-talkie.
You've lost all your love for me. Marc.
Listen, look at me. I'm going to give you an example of why I bark.
I know.
Cheryl,
You've told me
take
so
the
many
walkie-talkie
times.
to your face. A brief sentence, let go of the button, take it away from your face. I could teach someone else that lesson. And I might have to tell them twice. I won't have to tell them 50 fucking times. I won't have to tell them, I don't need 18 sentences from you. If I say, how much more room do I have? The question is, how much more room? So the answer is room. How do I define room? You have about 8 feet. That's a sentence. What I get from you is rambling. So I get chippy and I get frustrated when you have not grasped a simple concept. We move to the telephone. Hey, Cheryl, you know what? Don't talk over me. Don't talk for 5 minutes because I have another question because your answer didn't make any fucking sense. So I'm going to rephrase my question so that there's only one possible answer. Only one. And it's going to be 2 or 3 words. But I can't get my sentence in because you won't start up. You won't shut up. You're telling me shit I don't know and don't care to know. It's never gotten into your head to pay attention to what I'm asking you. You're my helper at that point. You have to help. And the help you give is the help that's asked for. Because you don't know, you don't know how to help. You don't. The idea of backing an RV and 2 things moving is beyond your brain's ability to conceptualize. I get it. So I break it down into small things for you. And I've asked you to do these small things. You can't get them into your head. You can't get the simple thing like, don't keep talking on the phone. Be brief and stop. Don't talk over me on the phone. You didn't get them. And I get frustrated. Why do I have to tell a grown adult the same lesson 10 fucking times? Stand where I can see you in the mirror. Well, when you go outside to help, where the fuck would you stand? Why isn't it the first thing in your head? What is he going to hit? That thing right there. I got to watch that. And then I need to see him in the mirror. I don't know what goes through your head. You wander around.
Sometimes,
you just go.
No,
No.
sometimes there's a tree on the other side
Yeah,
that I'm supposed to be
then why
looking
don't
at.
you tell me there's a tree on the other
did.
side?
Baby, can you just hold my hand,
No.
please?
No, this is why I get frustrated.
No, I just want
You're
you to
not-
hold my hand, so
Okay,
thank you.
this is why I get frustrated. I tell you how to help, and the last thing that's nothing, you know what's never come out of your mouth? I don't know what I'm doing, tell me that again. You stand back there
I say
and
I'm
you
trying.
do.
I keep trying.
Stop saying I'm trying.
I do,
Stop
though.
saying you're trying. Stop. Stop that. Would you accept you're trying from a fellow nurse who's jabbed a needle into someone's arm 18 times to get an IV when they look at you and say, Cheryl, I'm trying? Is that okay with you? Is that okay? Is that okay? Does the word the words I'm trying? The words I'm trying are good for children learning a new task. For an adult,
I'm doing my best, I guess, that I should say.
You're not even trying.
No,
you're not.
That's
and here's
not
why
true.
you're not trying.
That's
if
not
you were
true.
trying, you would have spent 3 seconds in your head. What does he need me to do? I forgot. What do you need me to do, honey? Because I can't remember. Walking around aimlessly, running your own show, disregarding everything I've told you to do is not trying. That's not trying. It's not. It's being clueless. And being clueless is frustrating. So when I have to get out of the truck to talk to you because you won't shut the fuck up, and I'm already all the way back to you and you're still talking on your fucking phone, and I'm standing next to you, never include you like, oh, I'm talking too much. He's not coming back here to smile and to hug me. He looks upset. I wonder why. Just right over your head. Clueless. So then I say, hey, I need you to see me, and I try to move you where you can see. You won't move. You get this weird defensiveness where you refuse to realize that you're lost and clueless, that I'm trying to give you some direction, and you get mad and pissy, and now I'm talking down to you. No, I'm frustrated with a 4-year-old behind my rig that can't hold a concept in their head. And when I come to tell them this is what you need to do to help me, this is how you will try, you get mad at me. Come over here so you can see both this and that. I'm not. I'm fine. No, well, you're not fine. This whole rig is blocking your view. You can't see a fucking thing. Come over here. No. It's not trying. It's being defiant for the sake of defiance.
I don't do that anymore. That was in the beginning.
No, that was not that long ago.
Yeah.
And that's just, these are the things where you say, mostly I'm talking down to you when we're back and you're parking the rig. And I've told you what help looks like lots of times. And for whatever reason, you've decided help looks differently. And I'm wrong or whatever, in your head, help looks differently, and you're not going to give me the help I want for whatever reason that runs through your head. Pure defiance, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. We can go back to talking about your cell phone. I asked for your help. You should know how to manipulate a cell phone, manipulate a map. You're a grown adult. You didn't. So I lost my patience when I listen to me. Listen to me. I'm going to tell you what was wrong and why I lost my patience. You've had a smartphone for years. If you don't know that you can manipulate a picture by pinching or expanding it with your fingers, too bad for you. You should know that. But if I ask you something, the answer cannot possibly be, I don't know. The answer can only be, oh, my husband wants a piece of information. Give me a sec, I'll get it for you. Or give me a second. It can't be, fuck you, I don't know. Ever. Ever. When you ask me to do something, my answer is never, fuck you, I don't know. My answer is, I don't know, let me figure it out.
I don't say the fuck you part.
I know, but it's in your head. I don't know says, fuck you. It says, I'm too fucking lazy to look, or I'm too hurt that you had the gall to ask me to look. It says everything other than, yes, of course, just a second. So when I rip the phone out of your hand, it's because you've had 3 seconds to figure out what to do, and you either can't, because, I don't know, maybe you're not bright enough to work a smartphone. I doubt that's the case. It's because you're too stubborn to, and I rip it out of your fucking hand. I shouldn't have time to take it from your hand. Long before my thought comes out to rip that out of your hand and get it myself, you should be working on it yourself. So I get frustrated, and you get talked to. That in a way that conveys my frustration. Of course. If you tell me to take the cat shit out and I ignore you or say I don't know how, I can't, you wouldn't be happy with that answer. I don't know how. I'll figure out how to take out the cat shit. I might say, give me a minute, I'll do it in a few minutes. but I don't ignore your request. I don't think I ever ignore your requests. I either act on them right away or I tell you, give me a few minutes. I don't make you wonder, do I give a shit about your request and will I try to fulfill it or honor it? I never do that to you. So I get frustrated. And my frustrations are pretty rational. They don't come out of the blue. I don't talk down to you because I'm an asshole. I get frustrated, and you hear my frustration, but you're oblivious as to what prompted it. You just hear the frustration, and in your mind, how dare I be frustrated with you? I'm talking down to you, or I'm treating you like a child. Well, I don't think you treat a nurse very well that stabbed someone's arm 18 times to put an IV in. I don't think you'd be compassionate to that person. I think your minimum expectation of that person's ability to do this little thing would be so high that about their 5th jab, you'd have said, let me do it. Get out of the way. I can't think of a time where I deliberately dressed you down or talked down to you because I was in a bad mood and you didn't have it coming. You didn't do anything that prompted. So when I say you had it coming, I mean that you weren't Captain Oblivious and didn't tell me, hey, I really don't know how to do this. Instead, with the phone, I've been driving for 35 fucking years. You just made it worse. You just told me you've been using this device for 25 years and you're still fucking clueless over how to make it work. I made it worse, not better. You know what I mean? So if you can't do something or you don't understand, you should say, I don't know what you want. I don't know what you want. What do you want? What can I do? And listen to the answer and do the answer. Because you don't know what to do, so do what you've been told to do. I give you the answer. Don't talk over me on the phone. I ask you a question, and I don't ask you like, hey, what do you think I should do to back this in? That's an open-ended question, and that might take a 3-minute answer with lots of concepts. I don't do those questions to you because I don't want your take on what I should do to back the rig in because I know mechanically you don't get it at all. What I want is a question. How far am I from that tree? Is this angle right? I've given up on the fact that I thought maybe you would learn that the RV will turn lots after it's in the direction you want it because the truck has to turn. And while the truck is turning, it's going to continue. I've given up on that concept. That's a concept you'll never get. That's mechanics. I know you'll never get it. But you can get the concept of that's a corner of the RV, that's a fucking tree, how far? That's a concept you should get. And where should you stand to give that information to me? These are things that I get frustrated with because they're baby little things. They're easy concepts. I've broken it down for you. I want this one fact. I might ask you 5 facts in a row. Because if I ask you an open-ended question, I'll never get the 5 facts. So I break it down. Just answer the question that was asked. It gets really frustrating. If you ask me what time I'm coming over today, the answer is something to do with a clock. The answer is not 30 minutes about what my day is going to be like and what I'm doing all day long. It's, I have to process all that by myself and figure out the answer to the question. The answer to the question is 4:30, maybe 5. It's incredibly frustrating. We've had this discussion for years. Your answer is, fuck you, that's how I talk.
It's not my answer now.
It is.
It is not.
It's been. Your answer to me has been, that's just how I talk. Which means, in plain language, fuck you, I'm not going to try to change the way I talk to communicate with you. You better learn to communicate my way or tough shit. That's what the answer means. Now. How many times have I heard that from you?
I've never said it like I've said. We during therapy. We said we both
back up.
Yes.
How many times have you said to me, "That's not the way I answer questions"?
That part is hard because that's hardwired. Just like when you wanted the exact number to. Okay, it takes me a minute. Like sometimes I just don't think the same as you.
But the question.
You gotta give me a break.
No, I'm going to give you very few breaks because I didn't say how much water do you think you're going to need for showering and bath. I said, how much water do you think you'll need today?
I don't. Then
so
you said till tomorrow.
Stop for a second.
Okay, so it takes me a minute. So you want that's the only thing is you want the answer right. You
Then
gotta give me a minute.
Then you can say, give me a second, I gotta think this through.
I did that the
you
second.
didn't. You started talking out loud and rambling and running on.
And then you said, I said like one sentence, and then you stopped me, and I said, give me a chance to think. That's how I said it, okay?
But this has been a problem with us, because I tell you how I need you to communicate with me, and your defiant defensiveness is fuck you, you get what you get. I've heard that from you for 6 years. You don't say fuck you, that you get what you get, but that's what's in your head, because your answer is, that's just the way I talk. That's the sentence. What that sentence means is, fuck you, you get what you get. It means I'm not going to make any changes. It means I'm not going to make any changes.
I have not said that for 10 days. I'm willing to do the work. Do you believe me?
I believe I believe that you're willing now because you're in a place that's motivating you to be willing. It's a place of you feel intense pain over the breakup. You feel intense pain over the loss. And those are very motivating things. I get it. I totally get it.
You're not. You don't have any pain.
I have very little pain.
I know.
Because this has been coming for years.
It hasn't been coming for years. You've never said this before.
Yeah, I've felt it inside.
You should have said.
And I've told you before. Every time you do this to me, you're chipping away at my love. Every time you listen to me, I'm going to get a whole sentence in, and you need to digest it without thinking of a counter answer. I've told you for years, stop fucking lecturing me. Every time you fucking lecture me, it tears a little bit of love away from you. I've been telling you that for fucking years. And your reply is, fuck you, take the lecture. You don't say it, but you keep lecturing me. And the message is, fuck you, I'm going to lecture you whenever the fuck I want to, without control. I told you when we first fucking dated, hey, you got a problem? Get it out in a sentence, rip the Band-Aid off, and shut up and wait and see what I do. And I was nicer about it then, but that was the concept.
They were very sweet back then.
That was the concept.
But here,
tell me what's wrong and wait.
The thing that I'm having a hard time with is you're saying that for years, every time I would have a meltdown and want to leave and talk about divorce, you said to me every single time until the last 2 times, you never think like that. So were you lying or were you just lying to yourself?
I was lying to myself. I thought I could take it indefinitely. I can't. I thought I could thought I could live with the threat indefinitely. I can't.
You shouldn't have to. But you should have been more honest to where we would address it and really go to therapy, whatever we need to do for it, because I feel a little blindsided.
Yeah, you shouldn't. You behave like a monster sometimes and you have no clue about it. No clue.
I am blindsided.
You shouldn't be.
Why? You've never said this before.
How many times have I looked you in the eye and said, shut the fuck up, leave me the fuck alone? How many times have you heard that from me? How many times? Think. It's a question. I want the answer.
20.
I don't want no. Like 100.
No.
Like 100.
No.
Like 100.
You have a lot of hatred towards me right now.
I have a lot of hatred.
I know.
It's not hatred. I'm mad. I'm pissed. You're fucking clueless, and you want to turn around, and you want to stop the conversation. Even now, this is why I have no hope that you'll fix yourself. Because you're grasping at straws that I'm part of your problem.
I've been quiet the whole time, an hour. I've been letting you talk.
It's not just about letting me talk. It's the things that you say. When you say things, where's your part in this? My part is tiny. Your part is super fucking destructive. It doesn't matter what my part is. Until you learn not to be so fucking destructive, I'm not taking part in this anymore.
I just don't understand the anger. Like, you're so...
Because you've treated me like shit when you want to for 6 fucking years.
I haven't.
Liar.
Stop lying for 6 years.
Liar.
That's not
You're
true.
a fucking liar.
Baby.
You're a liar. I've told
true.
you treat me like shit. When you lecture me, it's treating me like shit. When you lose your shit at me, it's treating me like shit. You started it when we were dating.
It didn't. I would get upset and cry, and I would try to make you see that not wanting to have a big love to me because you're crying over a song over an ex-girlfriend.
Yeah, and where's some fucking slack for that? You don't know shit. You never dated. You never fucking dated. You never got your heart broken. You never went out with other people. You never got fucking disappointed. You don't know shit. You jumped from your marriage into here, and you act like the fuck you don't know shit, and you're oblivious to the fact that you don't know shit. People go through things and they get affected by it. And a decent human being has some fucking compassion.
Maybe.
You have rules. The fact that you would even bring that up again shows me how fucking clueless you are to life.
Because
Clueless.
you talk about all these terrible things. There was nothing in the beginning that was terrible. We were figuring each other out. And I didn't know if I could trust you because of things that I heard. So yeah, I had a real trust issue with you. But I didn't talk to you like this. We didn't have these kind of...
You've been lecturing me like this for years. For years. And I didn't fucking make a giant stink about it because I kept thinking, 6 more months of marriage. She'll get the confidence she needs, whatever. It'll stop. It'll stop. It just has become so fucking normal. Instead of thinking, when's it going to stop? I think, the fuck? How do I fucking get away from this?
Well, you are.
How do I shut her the fuck up?
I know.
Nobody has the right to jam their fucking stupid thoughts down someone else's throat for 45 minutes when they tell them to their face, shut the fuck up. Stop. Stop it. It's like I'm not even there.
I hear you. I see the anger and hatred in your voice.
Yeah, you should.
You hate me.
You produced it.
You hate me?
You produced it. I'm furious with you. You produced it. You're oblivious. You sit on this horse and you've decided that your way is the only way.
I'm not.
And
I don't want
I'm
to
telling
anymore
you what
then.
you've done.
I don't want to anymore then.
Well, no shit. You shouldn't do it anymore.
I don't want to. But I think it's going to be too late for us because you hate me now.
Shut up and listen.
What?
If you say the word hate again, I'm fucking leaving. I don't ever hate anybody for anything. I'm upset with you. They're two radically different concepts. If you can't get it out of your head, I'm leaving because you don't fucking listen to me.
I won't say it again.
Get it out of your head.
Okay.
What's the difference between angry and hate?
I just see a lot of contempt.
So I
when
asked you a
you're speaking
question.
to me.
And it needs an answer.
Hate means you never want to see the person again. You want them out of your life. You can't stand them. You can't stand anything about them. That's what hate is.
Okay.
And I feel that from
and
you.
What's anger? What's anger?
Anger is usually based on a situation.
I asked you what anger means. Do your best to define it because you failed just now. Try again.
Anger is words. Anger is actions. Anger is facial expressions. Anger is a lot of things.
Those are all terrible explanations.
Okay.
Anger is the accumulation of negative feelings, the accumulation of emotions and feelings that boil over. They're feelings. Anger is a feeling.
Okay.
And that feeling has expressions. That feeling has lots of things. But that is an expression of too much. Too much negative in one direction. You push back with anger. It's an emotion.
Okay.
Emotions are transitory. Hatred is not.
All right.
They're vastly
So you're angry
different
at me.
things. For the 5th fucking time,
Okay.
I don't
I'm
hate
just saying.
you.
All right.
I'm
I
angry with
didn't
you.
say hate again. I said anger. You're angry at me.
Yeah, I'm angry at you.
All right. I feel it now. I felt it for a week and a half.
Yeah, imagine sitting in here for 2 days, getting your hatred and anger, getting your anger, getting your ultimatums.
I'm not proud of it. I'm not proud of it at all, Mark. I've apologized a number of times, and I'm not proud of it. Can I hold your hand again, please?
In the middle of your lectures to me, did I ever tell you to grab your suitcase and get the fuck out of my life?
You told me to leave. You did.
When you would say things like, I'm going to leave,
you said get the fuck out.
get the fuck out.
I know.
You bring up the topic, fucking words are cheap. Get the fuck out. You want to leave, get the fuck out. You want to take this to another level? Fuck, do it.
It was very destructive to our relationship, me doing that.
You're
Very
never
destructive.
learning. You're never learning to check yourself. It was enormously destructive. What happened last week is just the result of you having personal license to behave however you wanted to whenever you felt upset. That's the license you've given yourself.
I did.
Yeah,
But
and
I
this last week
But I
was a
won't.
result of that. Do you love yourself enough to fix yourself?
I do.
Well, we'll see.
I do. Do you believe me?
I believe that you want to.
Okay.
I believe
What's
that
the start?
today, when you're upset, you see those things as a problem. Do I believe that when you calm down, that a month from now, when you're settled into a familiar place with friends and family, that you'll still have those feelings? I don't know. Do I believe that you'll still be motivated enough to address them honestly? I don't know. Do I believe that you're going to get all the support you want from the people that will tell you it's my fault too, and deflect away from your personal responsibility and put healing the marriage on my shoulders? Yes, I think that's probably going to happen.
I'm not going to do that.
No,
If we do decide to, when I work on myself, if we do decide to work on the marriage, it will be both of us, but it will be having me already done my work to not do this to you again.
Yeah, so I'm not working with you who you are today.
I know that.
I'm not.
I've been very open and humble with you for the last 10 days. I've been trying. I've been trying to give you your space. I gave you your space from yesterday.
So here's how the space
How
works.
do you want? What do you want
Here's how
from
the
me?
space
You want me
works.
just to not text you at all?
It's not your right to give me anything. You've lost.
What do you want?
So you've lost all control over my space.
Okay.
You threw me out. I have my own space.
Okay.
You have nothing to say about it.
I know.
I know. So the concept that you've given me my space is troubling.
I mean texting you or calling you or bugging you. I mean bugging you. That's what I mean by space. I'm trying to let you know I still care about you and love you, but not smother you and get you pissed off. So I'm trying to balance. That's what I mean by space. Okay? So you tell me if you want me to completely stop, and I will. I want you to still know going forward that I'm willing to work on myself and work on this marriage. And if I completely shut you out or don't talk to you, give you your space that way, you might think that I don't want to continue in that way. And so I'm not sure how to move forward with that.
You work on yourself, and we'll talk every couple of weeks.
Okay.
I don't want a daily text from you.
Okay.
I don't want I love you. I know you have feelings for me.
Okay.
But I need to know that you're healing all the fucked up things that have happened to you in the past, that have made you judgy, have made you oblivious to me at times, and have made you so unbelievably self-righteous. You don't see yourself righteous because the self-righteous never do. But you have a sense of self-righteousness that drives all
I
this.
see that. I see what you're talking about.
So talk to me once a week or so.
Okay.
But don't smother me with good mornings, I love you. Just
Okay.
It's, to me, it seems a false effort to try to jam a shortcut into what you have to do.
I just want
I mean?
you to remember when I was doing that yesterday. I didn't do it this morning. I just sent you a text of the snow. Good morning. I didn't say I love you. I didn't say anything like that because I don't want you to feel that it is fake. But when I did it yesterday, it wasn't fake.
It feels like a shortcut. You're trying to get
I'm
a
not
shortcut.
doing a shortcut. I'm just trying to get you to remember the millions of good times we've had together. We've had a lot.
We've had a lot. And
We've had a lot.
And
I don't want you to forget that.
And at risk of losing all those things as a backdrop, you can't control yourself, which is sad to me, terribly sad to me. Right? We built this thing, and it's all risked. You can risk it all. I could risk it all by cheating on you. I would never think to cheat on you.
I would never cheat on you.
I'm going to get some concepts out here. They're concepts.
Okay.
You have to listen for a minute. I could risk it all by hitting you. I could risk it all by doing a million things. I don't do them because I value the relationship we had. And if you value the relationship we had, you will stop immediately doing all of those things.
I am.
Because we're here.
Trying.
We're not here because I get frustrated with you because you can't or won't learn something. That's a whole other topic. Why do you get defensive and refuse to learn? I have no idea. It's a minor problem. It results in my getting frustrated and you feel like I'm talking down to you, but the frustration comes from your inability to learn from me. You don't want to learn. Something in you says, I don't know what it says, but you shut down, you refuse to learn, you refuse to grasp concepts, and you feel like being instructed is being talked down to. It's not. It's not. You need to know things so you can help me in certain ways. You can't get defensive by being shown how to learn something. Being shown something is not being told you're a child. Learning something from somebody is not being talked down to. It's not demeaning to have somebody tell you you don't know how to do something. Is it?
No.
No, it's not. There are things I can work on. Nitpicking what you do, I stopped doing it mostly. It bothers you. I want things done a certain way, you do them a different way. I have to come to terms with you do them a different way. It's an easy thing to fix over time, and it's a small problem, and it should be a small irritant to you. Being screamed at is not a small irritant. Being dressed down is not a small irritant. Being the subject to a tirade that just won't shut its fucking self off is not a small incident. So yeah, I have some part in this. The little big things. You turn them into massive things. They're not. They're big things.
I'm waiting to hear, just not change the subject, but just to talk about some other stuff for a second. The escrow, well, I don't know. They're supposed to be getting, I wanted to get in Friday. I told you what they said on the text yesterday. So she contacted Candace Williams, the realtor, contacted escrow. Candace Williams, the realtor.
Back up. Who contacted who?
I contacted Candace. I texted you yesterday.
Who's Candace?
The realtor.
Okay.
And asked if this was still ready.
Names.
Candace.
Like who they are, not their names.
Candace.
Like, I contacted the realtor who
the realtor.
The property.
Okay. Baby.
Well, I'm asking
trying.
you.
I know, and I said realtor 3 times. You didn't hear me. You're not listening.
Because you said, and then somebody contacted the realtor. So
okay, so the realtor contacted escrow.
Right.
And then the realtor also contacted the owners to see, is Friday still good? For some reason now the owners want escrow to be closed before I'm on the property.
What do you mean? Okay, so the answer's no.
So
simple. The answer's no.
Let me finish, baby. Yep. Then she's going to, Candace contacted escrow to see if we could get it done by Friday, the escrow done by Friday. So that's what they're working on now.
All right. So you can't move till the escrow's closed.
Right.
Yeah, and you're pressing is making you a pain in the ass.
I'm not being a pain in the ass.
Well, imagine the other people.
I only asked her once. She had told me when we signed all the documents that they would be out by the 15th. I wanted to make sure before we left, love, that they were actually going to be gone, not show up and then come to find out. I'm glad I asked.
When they bought it, what was the terms of the escrow?
When they bought it?
When you bought it, what were the escrow terms? There had to be terms. Was it 30 days?
Whenever the escrow closes, 30 days, yeah.
So when you signed escrow papers, were they for what term?
30 days.
So that's the understanding.
No, but there was an understanding with. I have an email from Candace after
Candace's realtor.
Realtor after the realtor talked to the owners when they said they would be out by the 15th, so I could have early entry, and she told me that it's in writing that I could have early entry. But now all of a sudden, maybe they don't. I don't know. But whatever changed.
Now all of a sudden they're insisting on the written escrow.
Yes.
Okay.
So,
that's what you're stuck with.
Right. So I just wanted to update you on that. I'll update you as I know more. I signed everything. Today's the 12th. Right. I signed all the escrow stuff. I may be able to wire the money tomorrow. If that's the case. They have no intention of leaving on the 15th, right? No, they do.
Why?
How
do you know that?
Because Candace is trying to make it happen.
Candace
the realtor.
Is trying to get them off, but
they're not living there. No, I can't talk to them.
What's there? What's
their
there to
RV?
Keep you off the property? So they have no intention of moving their RV in a hurry.
They agreed that if the escrow could close, everything will be off by Friday. That's what the latest agreement is. That's what Candace told me 3 hours ago. She called escrow. Escrow sent me the instructions. I signed everything. I faxed it over, and now I'm waiting for the wire instructions.
All right. Well, I have a trailer on rent for Saturday, so I need to know.
Okay.
Pretty quick.
Yeah.
So I can cancel it and not be out $800.
Oh, wow. You driving it here with your stuff?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, as soon as I know from her, I will let you know.
So
by tomorrow I'll know.
Okay, because by tomorrow I think I have to let the trailer go. And if I have to let the trailer go and re-rent one, you're stuck with my schedule of getting a new trailer.
Okay.
Irrespective of what your schedule and time frame
All
looks
right.
like.
Okay.
This has to work for me too.
I know. I get it. And then, so if it does all work out, we'll still leave Thursday. We'll stop in St. George. I'm not pushing you or anything, but if you
Buy
want
me a hotel room.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I ask you why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because we're separated and we're going to stay separated. And I don't want to spend the evening trapped in here listen to me, with your emotions that will do what they do because I'm back in the house. I don't want to be.
Can we have one last night together? We don't have to have sex. Just being together. Play games. Just.
All those
please.
things. All those things. One night leads to 2 nights, leads to 5 nights. The separation.
It won't, because I have my space. It's not going to.
Right now, I don't want to.
Okay.
I think it's going to produce a false hope in you. And I don't think
I
that's
don't
fair.
really have much hope anymore from everything you said.
So I'm going to summarize it for you.
Yeah, tell me.
And pay attention. I'm very angry at you.
I know. I know.
Okay. I've told you what anger means. Balance that in your head.
I know.
You have some problems. And the way you behave towards me has killed our marriage. They're inexcusable. I never should have allowed me to go on this long. I should have dealt with this problem years ago. Part of the problem is I've expected you to somehow grow out of the need for this. I've just never realized that this was going to go on without end and get worse. So you have problems you have to fix. Not learn some coping mechanisms. You honestly have to change your worldview about a few things. I don't know that you can do it. I mean, maybe you can.
Maybe.
Maybe you can. And if you can, I'm willing to talk to you about a future.
Okay.
But at this point, separation is the only direction, and moving forward on divorce is the only direction. Okay. I'm not going to find out that you failed in your attempts, or you masked your attempts, or because the loss is so great and you're so grief-stricken, you've managed to bury part of you that's going to come up in 3 years, and I'm going to be in the same exact situation. That's not happening.
Okay.
Period. So the way I see us going forward is we stay separated, we get divorced, we work on your problems. If you can get through your problems, maybe we have a future together. Does our future together mean man and wife? I doubt it.
Really?
Yeah.
You've never said that before.
Yeah, I know.
I'm glad you're telling me. I needed you to be 100% honest.
Yeah.
Because
right now I don't trust you.
I know
I don't trust that you can get a hold of these things. And if I marry you again, here comes round 2 of loss for me. I mean, there's only so much financial pain I can take and still be able to function on my own. So that's the way I see it going forward. We're getting divorced. To plan that you're going to succeed in therapy and you're going to be able to learn to control the parts of you you've never been willing to control, that's too much of a risk for me to say, no, we'll just put the divorce on hold and see how things go.
Okay.
Because in 3 years from now, when you can't mask it anymore,
okay,
what am I going to lose then?
Okay. Here's your mail.
Thank you.